So, press conference for Cardiff City, the FA Cup weekend. So, let's see what him and Valentino said. Hello and welcome to this video. I hope everyone is well. If you could like, share and subscribe to the channel, I'd much appreciate it. Liking help the algorithm, sharing gets in front of people's faces, and subscribing lets me know you like the channel. Hit that notification bell to let you know when videos go live. So, really good press conference with Paul Valentino. Very interesting that he didn't speak a word of English, and his English is absolutely fantastic now. Really is. He's having lessons 2 hours every week, which he's getting into improve. And he says here, I'll be honest, in the beginning when Sicko left, I was a little bit scared because he was the one that signed me. When you're a player outside the country, the club got an English coach, then maybe it's more difficult for me to try and put English players in. So I was a little scared, but I know good players. I'm a good player, and I know if I work hard and trade, I'll be able to play. I did it against Middlesbrough on the second game in the Carabao Cup, and then I played. You can't come to England and go, I will be in the starting 11 in the first day. You need to let things happen, and you need time to adapt in the league style because it's new and nobody knows what you can do on the pitch. So I tried to be calm and tried to give myself time. It was really good to see how he was doing really well with talking to Rob Staten and just having a really good interview. And he came across really well. He came across that he's a lad who's really wanting to understand the English language. He's really wanting to get things going. He spoke about his parents coming over, his mum and his brother coming over for Christmas, and saying it was weird for him because he's always had a break. His brother's a footballer as well, so he was over. He turned around and said about the physical side of things. He said, I'm doing extra work every day in the gym with Rob Lee, Antonio Quintero, and the physios he explained. But honestly, last season I finished with a big injury, so when I came here without a pre-season, the final stage of my recovery. Said a lot. I said, and my best attribute is my physical one. I'm fast, so I don't have that, then maybe I don't feel like Paul. So it's hard in the beginning because I needed to do a lot of extra work, but now I'm starting to feel like the player I am, and hopefully I can show that to fans going forward, which is good. He also spoke about some of the players learning Spanish, one of them being Callum Patterson, which I thought was interesting. Josh, he spoke about how some of the other players who can speak a bit of Spanish has helped, like Bambo and co, and Delgado, just to get things going. But it was a really good interview. He came across as a really nice lad who, yeah, admitted that he was a bit scared and he wanted to show what he can do. But he's backing himself and he's putting himself about a bit and he's starting to get things going, which is good. And I remember I did a video on Paul saying I think there's a player there, and I'm hoping it's still coming true. And he spoke about how it's a different atmosphere in the stadium than anywhere else. He's never had it before. Like in the position we're in now in Spain, they'd be getting booed and they're getting clapped off. He said it's weird. He didn't say it's weird, but he said it's not something he used to. Back in Spain, it's just something that doesn't happen. And then you also looked at what happened with Hi-Ho Sheffield Wednesday, and he just said how it's not something he's used to as a player. And I think that's something, I think some foreign players, when they come to Wednesday, they hear that, they hear the crowd, and I think it takes them a bit to go, wow, this is different. So it's interesting seeing what we've done there to like go to him and go, this is what we're like and this is how we're enjoying it. Go back to Danny Rohl then. So Rohl even. He spoke about how it looked like we're probably not going to have Karen Patterson again due to head injury. Still got to do that protocol concussion. Akin looked like he's back. Nothing on Will Vogt, which I could hear in it. He spoke about how they were looking for the right player. They're talking players and stuff and getting things. He's like, first you got to do the first with the first club, then a new club, and then with the player. And it's the normal procedure. It's like speaking about like Cardiff as a whole. This will be the third time we played them this season, so we know what they're like. Last night in the live stream I asked, did people want a cut run or not? A majority of the people, I think it said 57% wanted yes of a cut run, which is interesting. And I think Danny spoke about how the way that it's not been a normal training sessions as late because they've had to redo them a little bit because the week in, week out games. It's the first week without a game in the middle coming up soon, which will help him. It'll give him some sort of time on the training pitch, and it'll be better for the players as well because it'll just let the players get that proper recovery that they need, which is probably difficult this period. Having the period out of the way is always good. He spoke about how they were looking in all markets. A lot of the questions were like, are you going to look at some player from Bayern Munich, RB Leipzig? He said they're looking everywhere. Him and Kevin are speaking every day, trying to get something done, and his chairman is speaking as well, which is interesting. I will say that people always, and I was one in a little bit, it was a bit like with Chansiri, what's his day-to-day talking like with Danny? It sounds like it's saying that he's been with a lot of managers, so that's interesting. So it's good to see that still in the right way of going about and trying to get things done. You hope that if a player comes on the radar and there's a deal to be done there, that we can get it done and get it done quickly. I mean, that's the thing he said. We could have some players in the next couple of days, so fingers crossed, we'll keep an eye out on that. His word, by the way, not mine, but it could be just a way of saying a couple of days we might have something, a couple of days we might not. But I thought Danny spoke well. He spoke how he settled in Sheffield. I think you've got to sing this coach and coaching team. You've got a lot of belief in what they're doing. I believe him and Kevin are going to get the right people in as well. And I just thought it was good to see how he's doing with the job and some of the things asking about transfer markets and stuff and saying what players are close. And I thought there was one question that got asked by Alex Miller, and I felt a little bit sorry for him. Kieran Brennan, Danny didn't have a clue who he was, and he had to get explained to him who he was and stuff because Alex Miller thought he saw him on the pitch at half time. And that said a lot about where he is in the plans. That said to me probably going to be leaving the club more than likely in this window, I think. Shame, I thought there was a good player there when Moore had him for a bit, but if he's not in his plan, we might as well get something for him and wish him the best for the rest of his career. And it was just good speaking about how goalkeeper Pierre Charles, they might be doing stuff with him, maybe in this window, seeing what. And I think the right players will come around, but he said finding the right player, even if it's a loan player and Pessa not permanent, but if you get a permanent, you want it for someone for the future, which said to me we're probably going to be looking at a bit younger and see what happens there. But end of the day, good press conference by Danny as per usual. He speaks well, he's always good with the journalist, and I think we just got to see what happens now. It's a very, very busy month, as we all know, and we're just going to have to roll with it. Mind the pun, and see what happens, and hopefully we get the players in we need. And as we said before, I think he's still angling for a striker. I saw a lot of people mention Kiefer Moore last night, but it sounds like he's going to Cardiff because their transfer embargo is lifted. Which, if Cardiff get a good number of players, then they could do a push. But we've got to play Cardiff again, so let's see what we do, and hopefully we go through to the next round of the cup. But it will be very difficult, as we know, and hopefully so there's the last time we play Cardiff this season.